Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. That's every day's video, so it's a vlog, I guess. So it's half beer hall, half beers and breweries I went to in central New York, the Finger Lakes area. So basically, two of my friends and I have been talking about getting together once we all turned 40 and doing something. So what we did is went to my dad's cottage on Cayuga Lake. It's, I don't know, maybe, what was it? I think it took us 45 minutes to get to Ithaca. So it's a little north on the east coast of the lake. Beautiful area. The Finger Lakes are wonderful, definitely known for wine and more for beer. So I will focus mostly on the beer. So we got there Saturday, just hung out at the cottage. Sunday was the first day we kind of went out and did stuff. So we started at Ithaca Brewing Company for lunch and had some beers there. And I love that brewery. It's one of the early breweries when I first got into craft beer that it was actually the most local one. Yeah, when I first got into craft beer, and which is crazy because it wasn't like the next town over. It was still a little bit of a drive. And I haven't been in probably 5 years because when I moved to Albany, I go to my dad's cottage a different way and I don't go through Ithaca anymore. So I was like, I definitely want to go to Ithaca Brewing Company. And my two friends, Matt and Jim, were like, yeah, of course, that's totally great. So I had wanted to get 2 8-ounce pours. That was my plan. I was the one driving. I'm responsible. So I was, I really wanted Flower Power just because, that's the first IPA I ever liked. And I know they tweaked the recipe over the years, but I still have a really soft spot for that beer. And it was even one of the beers at my wedding. It was the IPA option. So I was super stoked to have that on draft there. And but they came out with a 16-ounce. I'm just like, whatever, I'll just drink this. They also had a mango sour. I want with mango puree I wanted to have. But anyway, so that was really good. But I didn't end up buying any Flower Power there just because I can get it pretty easy. But I did get some stuff that I have not seen around me. And, well, whatever. Spoil it a little bit. So my friend Jim he had a flight, and one of the ones that he's like, you have to try this, was this Double Power West Coast style Imperial IPA, 9% ABV, kind of like a bigger version of Flower Power. He's like, this is so good, you have to try a little bit off of my flight. And, yeah, he was right. This beer was delicious, and I'm really excited to review this beer. And I think when I review this, some people will be like, that sounds like hyperbole. No, they crush this beer. And then I was really excited for this one, just lower ABV, Pedal Power. They're calling it an IPA, but it's only 5.5% ABV. To me, it kind of drinks more like a pale ale. It's kind of like the smaller version of Flower Power. So I was super stoked to be able to get both of these and have them taste so good. And my friend Matt, not as big of a beer guy as Jim and I, but his favorite one is this Ithaca Saison. So we made sure we grabbed a 4-pack. So we got a 4-pack of each of these, and I just set one of each aside to be able to review. And it was cool because if you made a case, they gave you a discount. We were shocked how little we spent on this case of beer in the world of craft beer. But they also have, as you can see, root beers. So we end up getting 2 4-packs of root beer. The root beer is really good. I'm not a huge soda guy, but I definitely like root beer. And if I'm going to drink soda, it's almost always what it is, especially if it's like a craft soda. And then I think it's one of the best ones I've ever had, their ginger beer. It's non-alcoholic. And it's great for Moscow mules. It's great just to drink. And there are other ginger beers I think are really good, but this one is still my favorite. And I never see it by me to get, so I was like, yeah, it's been 5 years. I have to get one of these. And I've already. No, I haven't opened one yet. And I think about it, I end up making mojitos, not mules. But anyway, so that's what we got at Ithaca. And I don't think I'll review these, but I'll be reviewing these 3. And then on the way back, we stopped at Aurora Brewing Company because that's right by my dad's cottage. And that, just because I've had some of their beers and I've reviewed some, and they do drops by me. I didn't bring any, I didn't buy it there to review or to drink back at the cottage. But Aurora Brewing Company, they were so tiny when they started, and they have just been getting bigger and bigger, and it's awesome to the point that they're actually opening up a second location, and that one's going to be in Rochester. So super stoked on that. I don't know those guys very well. When they first started, I met the owners, and I don't think I've ever had a conversation with them since. I'm not saying they're not around, but I haven't seen them in kind of, I get there once or twice a summer and I think about it. But love the Aurora Brewing Company. So that was Sunday. Monday, we had tickets to see Weezer in Canandaigua, which was about an hour and a half drive from where we were. So on the way out, we stopped at Prison City, which I love Prison City. They're in Auburn, New York. I've reviewed a decent amount of their stuff. They do drops here, and I'm a huge fan. And so we stopped there for lunch on the way to Canandaigua. And great food, great beer. All three of us were very happy. Jim again got a flight. And then I think he got one more like super small pour, and he's like, "This is the best one." And we ended up getting a 4-pack of this. So it's Citra Oasis Hazy Double IPA, 8% ABV. I don't think I had ever had it before, and it was really good. And I was like, "Yeah, I am totally cool grabbing a 4-pack, and I would love to review one." It was really good. We ended up having 1 or 2 cans. That might be the one we had the most of. Now I think about it. When we weren't at breweries. Then we got to our hotel in Canandaigua, there was a nice Wegmans across the street. There's no Wegmans where I live. If you know about Wegmans and you had a Wegmans where you lived and then you move somewhere that there's not a Wegmans, it sucks. So super excited there was a Wegmans right there across the street from the hotel. So we went there, got some stuff for after the concert. Then we went to Twisted Rail. I don't want to say just to kill time, but like we were trying to kill some time. And I just had a beer there at a pale ale. It was quite good. My uncle had recommended a different one of their locations where they took over, I think it was a movie theater, some kind of theater, and all the brewing equipment's down where the stage would be. So you have like a cool, almost like an eagle eye view of it. But we went to a different location. Jim had a lager. I don't think Matt had anything to drink there. And we both liked our beers. It was a really cool spot for a place that has 4 locations. And again, I've only been to one of the 4. Really cool, right by the lake. They had a tiki bar outside. They had a band going out there, a couple of floors inside, some deck sitting. Just a really cool, chill spot. I would certainly go back there again if I was in the area. Then we went and saw Weezer. They were amazing. It was my second time seeing them. If you like their music, they put on a great live show. The band before them, Future Islands, just if you want to... it sounds like bullying. If you want to have a laugh, I would look up some Future Island videos. Good music, but that lead singer, very theatric, I'll put it that way. And we were laughing a lot, and it felt bad, but it was just really funny to watch him. He would do stuff like he would a fake cry, and then he'd punch the ground on the stage, and then he'd keep looking back where he punched as he's singing, or he'd say, "This song's about driving," and then during the song as he's singing, he's doing little driving moves. We were laughing a lot. And then Weezer came out and just rocked the place. They played almost 2 hours, I think. So that was Monday. And then before we headed back to his cottage on Tuesday, we wanted to go to Other Half, the FLX location. And they were opening a little later after checkouts. We're like, how are we going to, again, I hate saying kill time because I feel like that minimizes places we went to. But we were that was the place we wanted to go. But we found this other local place called Irish Mafia Brewing Company, and kind of a weird name. I'm like, okay, is it all Guinness clones or what? But I did a flight there, and we ate there. Really good food. Our plan was actually to go to Rochester to get food, garbage plates specifically, and we ended up being there, and we're like, you know what? No, we're good. We didn't end up heading to Rochester. But I got a flight, and I'm holding the thing off camera, and I'll grab it in a second because I know this is super awkward. I had 3 beers on the flight and then 1 cider. And I went to college in Buffalo, and there's a drink called Loganberry. And there's an awesome taco chain called Mighty Taco that we hit all the time, and I would always get a Loganberry to drink. And they had a Loganberry cider, and it was, what they call it, Mafia Insider. Loganberry apple cider. Oh my god. This was so good. This is exactly how I remember that Loganberry drink tasting that I would get at my taco, with just a little bit of hard ciderness to it. Mind blown. I want more of that immediately. It was so good. And luckily they had 4-packs. And my friend Matt really liked it. And he's the one who was like, let's see. Oh yeah, they have 4-pack. Let's get a 4-pack. I mean, like, I can't go on enough about how good this cider was. They also had a Loganberry double IPA that I got on my flight. That one added, I think, a little bit more fruitiness, but didn't have that Loganberry taste specifically to me anyway. But it was a nice double IPA. Actually, everything on my flight was good, but this was obvious, like the clear, obvious winner. And then we did end up going to Other Half Alpha LX. I didn't get anything from there because we get a decent amount of Other Half, and I've had a lot of Other Half beers. But we had a great time. It was the 4th of July. They were doing some specials for that. Matt was driving on this trip, so I was drinking more. So not only did I have a flight here, but I did a flight at Other Half. Plus, we ended up doing some, like, a barrel-aged barley wine, a barrel-aged stout. Small pours, but still, they were pretty high ABV. They had a lot of selection. I had, another thing about it, I had mostly hazy IPAs on my initial flight, but then I also had a old school hopped black IPA that was quite good. It has the same name as my dad, so I have to get that and take a picture and send it to him. Although he'd hate that beer because it was way too bitter for him. Cool spot, very chill. Would definitely go back there as well. And it was super close. Like I was at 0.3 miles from this place, so it was right around the corner. I would recommend both places for sure. But Other Half is Other Half, and they crush it for sure. But the biggest kick for us, it was a Samsung TV, and they had the Samsung channel. And I don't know if they did the special for the Samsung channel, but they took Baywatch and they however they do it, made it high definition, and they had a Baywatch marathon. And we just did, because you couldn't really hear, we couldn't hear it all where we're sitting, so we just, almost like Mystery Science Theater 3000, we just did our own commentary and jokes about it. But like, that was a popular show for years, and just watching it, it's so stupid. It was so stupid, but we were just laughing and laughing. We had such a good time. So then after that, we drove back. Yeah, Other Half was the last place we stopped. Hung out that night, had a couple of beers that we had bought, and then we all went our separate ways on Wednesday. But yeah, it was a super fun trip. Don't sleep on Central New York breweries for sure, or beer. If you can't get there, go to the breweries. Make sure you grab their beers. Even though, again, I didn't get any Other Half or Aurora, those guys kill it. So yeah, definitely want to give them shout outs, even though I didn't buy anything to review this trip. But yeah, have you guys done any fun trips lately? Have you ever been to the Finger Lakes region of New York? Which lake, which area did you hit? Breweries, heck, even wineries, anything, everything. Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.